day. I hope you're having a fantastic week and day. Really exciting news that we have our merch store opened, as well as our mail plan that you can subscribe to. If you want to support us, feel free to check out those links down in the description bar below. Super exciting. This week's video is a little bit different, mainly because it's happening as we are experiencing life. Typically our videos are going to be a little bit more reference to the past, mixed in with the present. Anyways, please support us by giving us a like. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications to all so you can get notified when our videos get posted. Sometimes they don't push out if you just subscribe. Are you so excited?
Yeah.
Why are you so excited?
Because I love doing videos.
Oh my gosh. You love doing videos?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you loved doing videos. Oh my gosh. Where did this energy come from?
From napping.
From napping? You didn't take a nap today.
I took a nap for years.
Yeah, let's just pause here for a second. Yeah, let's give you a second to process that Leilani is not a baby no more. Yeah, she's 4 years old now. Yeah, now that I've given you a second to remind you who this little girl is, let's head back into the interview.
One of my questions is, what is love?
Because we need to love people, because people need to love each other, because they like to love people.
So what do you think love is?
You have to love people because they love you too. If something happens, you just take it out of your brain and then you just love people.
You just take it out of your brain and you just love people, right? Okay, I love it. How do you show love, Lani?
You just make it hard and bring it to home or school.
Talk right into yours and try not to move too much so people can hear you. My other question is, how do you think mommy and daddy love each other?
Because they want to marry each other because they love you.
Because why?
Because they love you.
They love me?
No.
Who do they love? Mommy and daddy love who?
You.
Well, you?
No. Daddy loves you.
Daddy loves me.
That's-
And I love him?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I heard it before when me and EJ stopped waiting your time. I heard you guys. That's why I know that.
You're gonna make me cry, Lani.
That's big for happy thoughts.
It's a happy thought. It's a happy cry.
I
It's
told
happy
Lani
tears.
that.
Oh, okay. The last question that I have for you, Lani, is how can we show more love in the world?
You had to love the city and help the people to not fall down to the road or the sea who in the water.
So, do you think loving people is helping people when they fall down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way we can show love.
Yeah.
Okay. Great job, Mama. Awesome.
I only
Love your energy.
I just did one thing, but it was you guys did too fast for me to
That's
write.
okay. You did good. I'm going to ask you a couple different questions, okay? I want you to be completely honest.
Okay.
Completely honest.
Okay.
Alright. So the first question that I have for you is, what is love?
Love is I don't even know what it is.
What do you guess? What do you think love is?
I think love is when you hug someone.
Can you hug someone?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how you show love?
Yeah. But if you want to show love for real, you could just make a heart. If you're going somewhere.
You going somewhere? Okay.
Like school.
Like school.
Mhm.
Okay. How do you think daddy and mommy love each other?
You guys like to work with each other?
Like to work with each other? So that's why you think mommy and daddy love each other?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good answer. Okay. There's no wrong answers here. The other question that I have for you is, how can we show more love in the world?
We can help other people and respect.
Okay. Is that how you show love to other people?
I don't think so.
So what do you think?
I think to show love is to be good.
So that's how we can love the world? Be good?
Yeah.
Be good people?
To make Jesus happy.
Last question I have for you.
Okay.
How excited are you to be making videos again?
Like 500,000%.
You're really excited? Is this something that you want to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Like make a video of Minecraft Java Edition.
You really want to play Minecraft on videos?
Yeah, on Java.
On Java?
Mhm.
That's what you're really into right now?
Yes.
What else are you really enjoying right now?
That I'm like learning a lot more stuff.
Yeah, you are. How old are you now?
6. I mean 6.5.
6.5. Oh my god.
Because I've been exercising.
So that means you're getting bigger? I love it. That's awesome, buddy. Great job.
That was easy.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do have one.
What's your question?
How do we celebrate America?
How do we celebrate America?
Yes.
To be continued. Dun, dun, dun.
That's funny.
Visual marker. Sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
Sponsorship. We're not sponsored. One day.
Technically, they are sponsored. They're paying our bills. So technically,
I mean, if they want
we
to pay
are
more of the
stronger
bills
together.
through content creation, then hey,
Why not, right?
why not?
What's up?
Now, this week, I've been asking the kids what they think about love, and I know that you don't want to know their answers. You want to see the video.
Yeah.
But I know in general, that's been kind of a heavy, or just a topic that has been brought up this week more so than any other week. It's Valentine's week, or at least it was Valentine's Day. People are single, people are together, people are in and out.
People are dating their dogs.
Their date, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, taking fur baby to a whole new level, but sure. I mean, no judgment here.
Care about that life.
Okay.
Dated a plant one time.
You dated a plant one time?
Yeah, didn't end right.
It didn't end
It
right.
withered.
It withered. I was gonna say it got prickly.
I got prickly. Yeah.
Woo! I guess all that to say, how would you define love? Woo! And
I guess it depends the way that you're asking. Like, do you want my personal opinion of what I think love is, or do you want the answer that most people would want? Because love is subjective.
it is
Love is very subjective.
very
When you
much
think
so.
about love, it's subjective for many reasons, and I think one of the main reasons why love is so subjective is because not everyone has experienced love the same.
Right.
And like for people that know me, that's a very layered observation, that love isn't experienced the same way. When you think about, the way that I was loved growing up in comparison to the way you were loved, very subjective.
Very subjective.
So
The question in general is can be interpreted in many ways.
You take a perfect analogy would be you own 2 dogs. One dog you take to the vet, you groom them, you take to tend to them, you give them their foods, you let them out, you let them back in, you let them in your bed, and let them sleep with you. That dog obviously has a much more pampered lifestyle.
Right.
But the other dog probably doesn't like the same foods. Probably gets cold when they're outside, so it doesn't like to go outside. So out of conflict of being out and being in, it will rather go inside of the house and have an accident inside of the house. Maybe that dog is much more independent and doesn't like to sleep with people. It loves you from a distance and doesn't really like to be cuddly and close. Does that dog deserve less love than the first dog? Very subjective, because the second dog is just different.
Yeah.
And so when I think of what people would want to hear what love is, or how I would define love to other people, I would say that love is a sense of security.
Okay.
I would say its definition is mainly off of security. how secure you feel in that emotion. Because there's some people that are positively confident that the only way they can reciprocate love is if they're secure in what they believe and what they know. And so their sense of security in that emotion or in that feeling is what they define as love. I know you won't leave me because of blah, blah, blah. I'm confident in this. I have security. My public opinion of love, I would say, yeah. I think the way we define love, or what love is the emotional security of a specific emotion, of a specific notion. Now, me personally, I define love as God. I define it as Jesus. I would say Jesus equals love. And it's a very spiritual way to look at things in a very, very Christian-like way. But it's my truth.
Yeah.
It's my truth. It's the truth that I instill in our kids, that Jesus is love. And who he is embodies that. 1 Corinthians 13 says that love is kind. It says so many wonderful things, and I'm sure we pulled the text here, but when we talk about love is kind, love is patient, love does not hold resentments. Love is, it supports it all. And one of my favorite parts of that verse is my favorite part about 1 Corinthians is that it says it always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it always perseveres. So those four things, when I think about what Jesus is and what love is, I think about those four things. It always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it always perseveres. And those are like four crucial parts with anyone's relationship or anyone's love, is with anybody, with anything that I love and enjoy, or someone that I care for that deeply, when I can use that word for love. Because there's a big difference for me. Like, I can love this bottle, but it's not the same as I love my wife, or I love my kids, or I love my brother, or I love this person. Like, love, when I think about it, it literally comes back to Jesus. Like, Jesus persevered amongst everything that he could have gone through, amongst all the struggles, amongst everything that he would have gone, like everything that he went through in his life. He still decided, like, yes, I love the world enough to give my life. Like, protects, like perfect examples with babies. Like, thinking about like what lengths you're willing to go to protect your babies. It always trusts, like, no matter how grimy, how dirty, how ridiculous, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust in who you are. I'm going to trust in what we have. I'm going to trust in what commitments we've made, what promises we've done. And then the crazy thing is, like, it always hopes. Like, what? Like, you're always hoping. You're hoping that it's going to go well. And a lot of people, sadly, sometimes one of those things starts to differ. One of those things starts to kind of slide off. One of those things starts to kind of, fall short. And so, yeah, I would say that the way I describe love in my own life to other people is the same way I would describe the gospel to other people, I guess.
Do you think in today's, like, the way that we're living life now, do you think it's a really hard concept to get? Like, to love in general? Do you think people are just really, like, closed off and just it's really hard to love other people or each other?
It's hard to love other people. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. It is hard to love other people. It's hard to love other people because a lot of people don't love themselves.
Okay. Do you think it has changed over generations?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah. Because a lot of people don't, like I said, a lot of people, they don't love themselves. And sadly, in the past, a lot of people didn't know how to love. Like, it was, think about like just the gaps in generations that, generations ago, fathers abandoning their children and wives or girlfriends at the time or whatever was so much of a bigger issue that now it's slightly reduced. I would say that it's more common to see more people actually take commitments and want to be involved with their kids' lives because that gap has changed. How we love is different. Back then it's like this was just a mistake, and I'm afraid, and so I'm going to leave because I don't know how to process these emotions. I don't know how to process what I'm feeling. I don't want to commit. And then now I feel like that same thing. A lot of people have had to almost self-regulate and be like, I'm here now. I got no other way. I gotta love, So yeah, absolutely. I feel like over generations back then, people were not able to express or communicate what they wanted, and so people were quick to leave. And I mean, think about it. How many people that are, older than us, that because I don't understand, I'm going to drop it and quit. Now it's like, I need to figure this out. We've become the generation where it's like, I need to figure this out. Oh, global warming. I need to figure this out. Oh, my world's about to explode. I need to figure this out. So yeah, absolutely. I feel like love in the past and the love now has absolutely changed. Not so much changed. I think it's more so it's evolved with more sense.
Okay.
How we love has become much more logical than it was in the past.
From an observer point of view, I feel like people have still struggled with the concept of commitment and love. And so, do I think that people are capable of love? Absolutely. Do I think people struggle with self-love? Absolutely. Do I think that's a concept that we can learn? Absolutely, and grow on. But do we need help? Yeah. Like, it's not always a I understand how to love.
Yeah.
Because like our experiences have formed a lot of our memories, and our experiences have shaped that idea of love.
Our love can look a little different than yours. But are you allowing yourself to be loved? How do you show love? Like Nilo said, you can show love by making a heart. What are the ways you're showing love to yourself, to those around you, and perhaps to the planet you live on, that we live on? This week's vlogs was a little different, but we don't want to limit our content to a certain style. With that, we want to say thank you for being here and supporting us by watching, engaging, and just being part of the community. Les queremos, cuídense, y les vemos la próxima semana. We love y'all.